Hello, and welcome everyone to our session on 3 keys to unlock the full power of your financial institution. I'm Alisa Distaso, and I'm Director of Pre-Sales and Partner Enablement here at WealthEngine. And I'm really excited to have with me today Ilan Davidovici from Salesforce. We're going to talk about this in just a minute, but I want to take a minute and have Ilan describe his role, and if you could give us a little more insight into Salesforce.
Alisa, thank you so much for having me and for inviting Salesforce to be a part of this conversation. We're excited to be a part of the WealthEngine Prosper Summit and talk a little bit about what we think are some keys to unlocking full power of your financial institution. As a global head of wealth and asset management at Salesforce, I spend a lot of time with folks like you, with our customers around the world who are working to unify around the customer experience. And that means a lot of things to a lot of different people. But we get to meet with registered investment advisors and broker-dealers and bank wealth departments, asset managers and retirement providers, all who are interested in figuring out how to connect using technology, but connect the advisor and the wholesaler and the relationship manager experience directly with their customers. So we take all of that great information, we bring it back to the workshop, and we spend time building what we consider to be great products, CRM, leading CRM in the wealth and asset management space, the financial services cloud. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the challenges we see in the industry, what we've done a little bit to support that, and what we think is going to be happening in the future.
Ilan, great. Really appreciate that. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the session. So we talk about the 3 keys to unlocking the full power of your financial institution. Can you take a minute and tell me what those are?
Yeah. So obviously there could be many different things that could unlock the full power of your financial institution. You've got legacy technology, you've got new cloud-based technology you're putting in. I'm sure lots of fantastic minds at your financial institution are thinking about ways to combine the experience so that advisors and relationship managers have all the right information and insight at their fingertips, and they can use that to connect with clients and with prospects through the right channel, with the right frequency, with the right content at the right time. The 3 things that we tend to focus on of late are what I would call activating relationship intelligence, unlocking a single view of the client, and leveraging the power of an integrated platform. I'm going to go into each of these, I guess, as we talk through our conversation, but at a very high level. Activating relationship, how about that? First, figure out how to say it, and then you can find it. Activating relationship intelligence is about knowing as much as possible about your clients, about the information that they've shared with you, whether that's been through a voice-to-voice conversation or face-to-face or through text or through their digital footprint across social channels. What we mean by activating relationship intelligence is taking all those digital signals and binary signals and contextualizing that information as possible, and serving that up as insights to the right person at the right time. Unlocking a single view of the client is exactly what it is. No longer cutting and pasting from one system to the next, even if you've bought the right technologies, even if you're working to integrate them. Having that in a single pane of glass is the difference between a few client meetings a day and a lot of client meetings a day, and truly impressing your clients and prospects. And then leveraging the power of an integrated platform to us is about seeing what exists out there in the marketplace. What's already been built for your benefit with out-of-the-box integrations, with some leading what I call category killers. Fintech organizations that see the value of integrating with other best-in-class solutions and providing those with out-of-the-box functionality to you.
Awesome, Ilan. Really appreciate that. So when you and I were talking earlier, you talked a little bit and you addressed it here somewhat about, when you talk about relationship intelligence, it's context plus action. How does that help an advisor or somebody who's really trying to understand their prospect to be able to get to that action?
Yeah, it's a good point. So let me define relationship intelligence. You make a very good point. I did say that about context plus action. Let's just go back a little bit in time. Everybody's talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, and natural language processing, and all these catchphrases. In some cases, it's real technology. In other cases, it's a little bit more hype than real technology. But if we go back a little bit, most AI and machine learning was about proving a hypothesis. It was about asking certain questions of your organization that you needed or wanted to prove, and using AI and algorithms to determine the answer to that question. We kind of came at this from a different view, which was the idea that everybody is sitting on massive reams of data, whether that's AUM data or held away asset information, engagement data, referral and product data, household and relationship data, and goals data. All that readily exists on your current systems or other systems that you do business on as an advisor. These exist today. The challenge is often bringing that information into one platform. What we do at Salesforce and like-minded organizations is we take that information and we contextualize it. Engagement data with predictive analytics, product data with next best action, household and relationship data with service history. And the real key to what we call our Einstein platform or our AI and machine learning platform is serving up those insights in the moment to the advisor so they can take action on that insight. It's not enough to get the information and to run reports and to create dashboards and to look at it at 10 at night and think, great, this is probably a good piece of information. I'm going to bring it up in the meeting tomorrow. No, we've gotten to the point where advisors need to have access to that analytics and to the insight in real time. Who are the right prospects for my business? Why are these the right prospects? What is the underlying data that's feeding this information? And what sort of insights can these algorithms tell me about the next behavior, the next action that I should take? If we can contextualize the right information and serve that up with next best action to the advisor, then they're able to be more productive and more efficient in real time.
That's great. So we understand kind of what that relationship intelligent means. I think we've really uncovered what that means to that individual who's trying to understand. But there's kind of a broader picture when you and I were talking, and that's what does that then mean for that client or for their larger household or sphere of influence?
Yeah, well, the great thing about financial services and wealth management today is there's so many clients and the intergenerational transfer of wealth is happening. The primary clients are perhaps getting older and adult children, the next generation of wealth are doing quite well. Whether that's 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds or 50-year-olds, they're beginning to inherit, and certainly they've made a lot of money on their own. It's not enough to know who your primary client is. And this is table stakes. Everybody knows that it's not enough. But most of the time, we still only have great information on the primary client and not on their entire household. So us at Salesforce, we went back to the drawing board, not necessarily because we were so prescient in our assumptions about what the industry would want, but because our advisory board said, this is what we want you to build into the financial services cloud product. It was a household model that fed all other household models. It's not enough to know who your primary client is. You need to know the spouse and the adult children. You need to know who the business partner is. You need to know about the aging parents. And with each different part of that household, there are often different competing goals. Right? With the spouse and children, you want to maximize life savings, but you want to save for the college fund. With the business partner, you want to maximize the line of credit, or you want to get a line of credit, but maximize the business valuation. How are those competing with each other? And with aging parents, you want to make sure that all that hard-earned money that they have an inheritance to give to the next generation, but you want to make sure that they're taken care of adequately and above adequately in their golden years. How does an advisor walk into this situation where they're having to advise their primary client and all the associated clients in the household? Well, we think that's by providing that insight, not just about the primary client, but about all the different parts of the household. And by being able to see client views that exist in different households. If I'm Joe Smith, the primary client in this household, but I'm a beneficiary in the other one, and I'm an influencer in the third, and I've referred in the fourth, an advisor needs to be able to see Joe Smith as an individual across numerous households. We built that, and we've extended that data model to all of our partners who are able to provide insights and information to the advisor across the entire household data model.
Great. Really appreciate it. So we talked about one of the keys being that activating relationship intelligence, and it really, to summarize that, it's really kind of saying how you can understand your clients across all of your different channels, Now let's take a minute and talk about that, unlock that single view of the client. What do you believe is the equation for growing the client relationship?
Great question, Alyssa. And I know that advisors and wealth firms and large financial institutions spend lots of time and effort and money, whether big and small, thinking about the equation for growing client relationships, what they should do from a marketing and a sales and a service perspective. We think that it's really important to think about the larger context of what an advisor does on a day-to-day basis. Where do they spend their time? Do they come in the morning and go to their goals-based planning platform? Do they go to their portfolio management system or to their custodial platform? Do they go to email and start interacting with their prospects and their clients and then try to translate that into internal actions and action plans? Or do they go kind of to a central hub, whatever that hub may be? If you look at the great research by Joel Bruckenstein and the T3 Advisor Survey, he came out after surveying, I think it was about 1,500, I don't remember, 1,500 or 1,800 wealth firms in the United States, asking them questions about what are the most important, most used advisor technology tools across all the entire spectrum of advisor technology tools. So it could be portfolio management or financial planning, document management, risk tolerance, could be portfolio rebalancing or investment analytics or prospecting or many others. And ask questions all about, who's using what and which platforms are growing, which ones are built into others, and which ones have great NPS scores. On the last page of that T3 survey, it asked what I thought was the best question, which is, which do you find to be your most productive advisor technology tool? And the answer to that, 42.65% of the respondents said that CRM was their most productive advisor technology tool, but not by itself, not at all by itself. If you add financial planning, that's another 26%, and portfolio management, that's another 20%. So you get above 80% in terms of productivity. The most productive tool is CRM when integrated with other leading systems. Now, we put that research together with some great research from ITA, which is a wealth management research firm, which said that wealth management firms with integrated technology generate around 50% more financial plans and investment proposals. By integrated technology, they were very clear. No longer cutting and pasting from one system to the next, even if you've got great systems. You want them to be able to share information with each other. If you're going to open a prospect or a client or a lead or an opportunity in one, it needs to show up in the other. If you want to create a new financial plan or rebalance an account, it needs to show up across each of these platforms. And in fact, the more you can have the advisor and the relationship manager living in one platform and doing all their work and their action plans and their flows and their management from one place, the more productive, the more efficient, and the more connected they're going to be. Ultimately, the equation for growing client relationships is connecting systems so that you have a single view of the client, a single pane of glass through which you're looking, which translates, IT says, to 78% larger books of business and 46% greater revenue production.
So it sounds like by unlocking that single view of the client, you're really going to be able to drive better business outcomes. So we've talked about, two of those keys. I want to end with that third key, and that was really leveraging the value of an integrated platform. So what is an integrated wealth platform?
Yeah, so I mentioned Financial Services Cloud. About 2.5 years ago, Salesforce, just going back a little bit in history, 19 years ago, Salesforce was founded to be a CRM platform that enabled across all industries. So whether that was aviation or education or government or financial services, you could take the core Salesforce products and use them for your use case in your industry. 2.5 years ago, we pivoted and doubled down on the financial services industry, and we started by building the Financial Services Cloud for wealth management. In subsequent releases, we've released FSC for banking and for commercial banking. In the future, Safe Harbor Statement, we're going to be releasing FSC, which is all one platform, connecting and unifying the financial institution. We'll be releasing it for insurance and for retirement and for asset management as well. Starting 2.5 years ago, we started to really build a deep ecosystem of vendors, of independent software vendors in the wealth management space that support the advisor experience. So when you use Financial Services Cloud as your CRM of choice, you get WealthEngine as an incredible tool for prospecting and deep analytics and insights about your prospects and your clients. Invest at Yodlee, GemStep as a digital advice tool, eMoney for financial planning, Quovo and Adipar for portfolio management, Orion and Tamarack, Hearsay and Science for onboarding, regulatory compliance, KYC, AML, and others. When you think about that single pane of glass and the equation for growing client relationships, it's about having the ability to do all of these tasks. They may be individual tasks, they may be across the book of business, they may be across the entire firm, but you want to be able to drive real insight, real analytics, and real understanding of your business and what's actually resulting in net new assets under management. We spend a lot of time back in the workshop thinking about what an advisor or a head of distribution or a head of technology or head of compliance or head of marketing, head of product would think about when looking at the behaviors of their advisors. If your advisors are doing A, B, or C and it's resulting in net new assets under management, well, we want your advisors to do more of A, B, and C. We want to feed them more of the information that's helping them to do more of A, B, and C. And in fact, we want to drive insight around how to get the next 90% of your advisors to do A, B, and C as well, right? So the more we integrate the best-in-class technologies, both within Salesforce and across the industry, the more the advisor is going to have the experience that they're more productive and efficient, and the more the client is going to feel that they're listened to, that their advisor knows them, that their advisor is guiding them through the process of making those tough life decisions and tough financial decisions. And ultimately, both the client and the advisor feel as though they've made an impact and are able to do the things that they want to do most.
Ilan, great. This was really, really valuable to our audience. I want to ask you one final question. So we've talked about these 3 keys. We talked about it unlocking that power at an institution. At the end of the day, what does this mean for your advisors or really for anyone who wants that personalized engagement with their clients and prospects?
Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, this is about learning about your customers. This is about knowing who they are and helping guide them. You know, in today's world, I remember meeting with one of the largest wealth managers in the world just a few months ago, and they did an audit of all of their communications. We were talking about AI and machine learning and algorithms to come up with the right content for the right person in the right channel. And they said they did an audit of their communications to their customers, and they realized that what AI and machine learning had really done for them was it made them over-communicate. And it made them realize that they were actually perhaps underselling the value of their brand. They were sending sometimes over 70 or 80 pieces of communication per month, whether that was a prospectus or an invitation or an invite for something or information about their holdings or a login, whatever that may be. And what it was doing was reducing their net promoter score. If we can take all the right information from our clients and from our advisors and put that into systems that helps support the advisor experience, helps you be more productive and more efficient, at the end of the day, your clients are going to want to come to you. Maybe they're going to want to come to you even for more than just financial advice, for life advice, for health advice, for clients like me advice, for what's the right step at this age and stage of my life. At the end of the day, we all want to be helpful. We all want to be productive. We all want to provide value to ourselves, to the firms that we work for, to our stakeholders, and to our clients. And I think technology plays a role in that, but the human experience is so much more valuable. And the more we think about what those touch points are and how to enable the right touch points for the firm, for the client, for the advisor, the better off everybody's going to be.
Ilan, that all makes such sense. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this session. I hope everyone enjoyed the conversation and learned from it. Please let us know. We'll have a way for you to give some feedback. I know I really enjoyed it. And also, make sure that you check out some of the other sessions that we have. Thanks again and have a great day.